that's okay. I can see you coming back for more. Coming back for more. Yeah. If you walk out that door.
What's going on, guys? It's Khan.
And Kim.
And today we're going to talk about the group Tomorrow X Together. But first, thank you to our 8 listeners on YouTube Music. We're going to keep making great podcasts for you guys to listen to. And now on to TXT.
TXT, also known as Tomorrow X Together, is a 5-member boy group formed by Big Hit Music consisting of Subin, Yeonjun, Bomgyu, Taehyun, and Hyun Kai. They debuted on March 4th, 2019 with their first mini album, The Dream Chapter Star. There are no set positions within the group, and it changes every comeback. On December 10th, 2024, it was announced that the group will go on a long-term break where they'll be spending time with their families and rest. TXT then returned on May 2nd, 2025. The meaning of their group is different people coming together under one dream in hopes of building a better tomorrow. Now onto the members. The first member that we're going to talk about is the only member that really has an official position. His name is Subin, and he is the leader of the group. He was born December 5th, 2000, and he was the second member to be revealed on January 13th, 2019. The next member is Yeonjun, who's the oldest of the group. He was born September 13th, 1999, and he was the first member to be revealed on January 10th, 2019. The next member is Bomgyu, and he was born March 13th, 2001. He was the 5th and last member to be revealed on January 20th, 2019. The next member was Taehyun, who was born on February 5th, 2002, and he was the 4th member to be revealed on January 17th, 2019. Our final member is the youngest. It is Hyun Kai. He was born August 14th, 2002. He was born and lived in Hawaii for a month and then stopped by South Korea to meet his family. He then moved to China and lived there for around 7 years. He moved to South Korea in the winter when he was 8. His mother is Korean and his father is German, but he also has Polish and Scottish roots from his father's side. Hyun Kai was the 3rd member to be revealed on January 15th, 2019. How did you get into TXT?
I got into TXT from Sugar Rush Ride. I don't know if I found it from listening to Stray Kids or you showed it to me, but either way, that's how I found out about them. I was kind of surprised that they were more dance-based because at the time, most groups were like vocal or like experimenting. They weren't really noise music at the time. They were more like relaxed, chill. So I feel like a noise movement push was like coming out because of ATs and Stray Kids. It's more like industrial pop or indie, so they're just experimenting. But at the time, TXT wasn't really any of that. They just kind of did the opposite of what everyone would expect, which made them stand out.
I got into TXT shortly after I started standing Stray Kids. As I mentioned in the last episode, I took a good break from listening to K-pop, and then Stray Kids is what got me back into it. For a while, I only listened to Stray Kids, as I mentioned previously. And then once I started expanding more, TXT was actually the second group that I had gone to because I found it very interesting how very, very different they were from Stray Kids with both like the vibe of the whole group and like the way their music sounded and just like the overall personality of the members. They was just very different and it felt kind of refreshing having something new after a good couple months. The song that I'd say that got me into it was either Sugar Rush Ride or Good Boy Gone Bad. I don't remember. I think it was right after Good Boy Gone Bad was released and shortly before Sugar Rush Ride came out. It is when I started standing.
What is your favorite song from TXT?
I'd say my favorite songs, I have a couple actually. My favorite songs would be Miracle, which is a B-side, and that one didn't come with a music video. I think it's a really, really underrated song. I also really like Deja Vu, which is the title track from, I believe, the same album, actually. I like Frost, Dear Sputnik, Over the Moon, Magic. I like a lot of songs from them. They have this thing where none of their music sounds the same, and almost every comeback is like a whole different emotion that you feel. Like one moment you can feel super happy, upbeat, and then the next album they drop, you are bawling your eyes out. What is your favorite song?
My favorite songs, I have 2 of them. It would be Back for More or Sugar Rush Ride. I personally play piano, so on a composing standpoint, I was like really intrigued by Sugar Rush Ride and Back for More because it was really like a complex melody at the same time, but it was really simple. Because I like what they did with their harmonies and their melodies, and it's like really interesting to like deep dive and see what they did and how it works. And then same with their music. Rush Ride was different, I guess, in a way. They just did the opposite of what I would expect every other group to do. And and they really stand out in my opinion. They played at their strengths in like a really good way.
I kind of mentioned this when I was talking about my favorite songs, but with each album being a different emotion, they have this thing where like some of their songs are more on the softer side. Like you have Sugar Rush Ride, it's a really upbeat, happy song. You have Blue Hour,
Back for More.
And then you have more like darker, sad kind of songs. Well, sad and dark kind of go different ways. But like you have Good Boy Gone Bad, which is kind of like a bad boy theme. You have Deja Vu, which is kind of a sad song.
Farewell Neverland.
Farewell Neverland's kind of sad. Chasing That Feeling's kind of sad. A lot of their songs are kind of sad. On the topic of bringing out the personality of the members, we wanted to highlight one member specifically because he started his own solo career and he's doing really well right now. We wanted to highlight Yeonjun and talk a little bit about his solo career. So with Yeonjun, he started his solo career in September of 2024, and he released his full album with the title track Gum. What is your thoughts on Gum?
Gum is like really interesting. It's like most of the songs that solo artists produce aren't really upbeat as Gum is, I would say. And then same with like the visuals in his music video, they were really out there. There's some like questionable stuff that I feel like if any other artist would do that, like they would be criticized for it. I guess he was criticized, but for the most part, people really liked how he was out there and then did his own thing instead of just like sticking to like the default like solo persona, I guess, in a way.
I definitely think him debuting as a soloist brought out a lot more of his personality and his style, and that's what's helping him get more recognition. He's now playing like at award shows as a soloist, and he's getting the recognition he deserves. I do hope that for the rest of the members soon. I know Bongyu, I believe, is becoming an official soloist soon because he did have his own song released. And then we will see what happens with the other members. On the topic of the members, we did get a little bit of an update about HYBE. As we had mentioned in the ENHYPEN episode, there was a lot of stuff going on with the company and with former member Heesung of ENHYPEN. And we just recently saw the update that the old CEO is now out like for arrest because of his scandal. And it is also speculated that the new CEO that we haven't had for very long was also involved in the scandal, so he also might be out for arrest. With that said, I'm curious to see how it's going to go with the other HYBE groups because they might be losing their newest CEO along with their old CEO, and it seems like almost every month of this year something has gone wrong with a HYBE group, and people are speculating that it's only going to continue until something goes right. So I'm hoping that they can get like a good CEO and that the scandal will be over. And although this isn't really about ENHYPEN, I hope Heesung comes back. I hope that the people that are on their hiatuses, like in Cat's Eye and Islet, I hope they come back. Hopefully TXT, the one we're talking about today, I hope TXT doesn't have any problems. All HYBE groups, I hope that things get fixed. TXT has been one of the biggest boy groups since like 2018, 2019-ish. And if this whole fall of HYBE continues, then the K-pop industry would be losing one of their biggest groups, along with some of the other ones, like ENHYPEN is one of the biggest groups in K-pop. And I think that the whole K-pop industry will be falling. But I'm really, really hoping that TXT can still be one of the biggest groups, that HYBE won't be doing what they did to Heesung to the members of TXT, where they kicked him out just because he wanted a solo career as well, which it doesn't make sense to me why they kicked him out, because Yeonjun of TXT has a solo career and he's still in the group. So I'm hoping that it stays like that for the rest of the members and they don't turn out like Heesung did.
So what I hope in the future is that HYBE supports their smaller groups like TWS and Islet and promotes their albums more than like their bigger groups do, because Islet and CWS are both talented groups and they need support. And like with the state that things are right now, I'm really hoping that the new CEO will actually get stuff done and not be involved in the scandal. Because TXT, like you said, is one of the biggest K-pop groups ever. I think they're ranked number 4, but like in the new gen K-pop groups, because like Big Bang and stuff like that would be bigger than them. But if you look at the new gen charts, I'm pretty sure that TXT is number 4. That's all we have for today, folks. It's Con
And Cam.
and we're number 1 dream. We are MOAs.